This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 108, How to Wake Up Feeling Totally Alert, Part 3 by Steve Pavlina of stevepavlina.com.
Get ready to maximize your potential with Optimal Health Daily, the podcast that brings you the best content in health, fitness, and nutrition 5 days a week. Your optimal life awaits. Now here's your host, Dr. Neil Malik.
Hello, welcome back to another edition of Optimal Health Daily, where I read some of the best blogs covering health and fitness, just like an audiobook. I'm your narrator, Dr. Neil, and if you didn't know, this is one of 4 podcasts where we read blogs to you. There's also Optimal Living Daily, where my brother reads to you posts about personal development, Optimal Finance Daily, which has some great tips to get out of debt and make more money, and the new Optimal Startup Daily for entrepreneurs, freelancers, and anyone interested in having their own business. Definitely check those podcasts out if you like the format of this show. Thank you all for your well wishes. My wife is feeling a lot better. She's back up on her feet. My family is still disappointed that she's not pregnant, but that's all right. They'll get over it. Now, really quickly, before we start today's post, again, this is a continuation from yesterday's episode and Monday's. This is part 3 of 4. So if you haven't listened to episodes 106 and 107, definitely check those out. All right. Let's continue the post as we optimize your life. How to Wake Up Feeling Totally Alert, Part 3 by Steve Pavlina of stevepavlina.com. Eat lightly at night. This could be considered a corollary to what I mentioned yesterday, but it's important enough that it deserves special attention. If your body must digest a heavy meal while you're sleeping, your sleep will not be as restorative, and you're far more likely to wake up groggy the next morning. Social conditioning may have taught you that a big dinner is the way to go, but for the real truth, you must consult your body. Even if you're not a strict vegetarian, I highly recommend you try steering clear of animal foods for your evening meal. They take the longest amount of time to digest and are very likely to make you groggy the next morning. Fresh fruit is perhaps the ideal food to eat for your last meal, especially low-sugar fruits like tomatoes, avocados, peppers, and cantaloupe. Personally, I'm not a big fan of having nothing but fruit for dinner, but when I do, I usually don't need as much sleep, and I almost always wake up feeling more alert. So regardless of what my mind has to say about it, my body clearly likes it. A very close second choice for an evening meal would be fresh veggies, especially a big salad. After that would be lightly cooked veggies. The less processed your evening meal, the less energy it will take to digest, and the less it will disrupt your physiology. If you eat before bed, you can expect to feel like in the morning. You've probably heard the advice that you should stop eating at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. If you normally eat a heavy dinner, that advice will help a little. But I can eat a large fruit or veggie salad right before bed, and it doesn't seem to disrupt my sleep. I think it's because our bodies are so well suited for fruit and veggie consumption. Such meals require very little energy to digest compared to other foods, so they don't strain our internal resources and disrupt our sleep. This is an area where I encourage you to experiment a lot. Try eating a very light dinner tonight and see how you feel the next morning. Exercise daily. Even before I went vegetarian, I noticed a major improvement in my sleep patterns when I started exercising aerobically on a daily basis. I suppose the current term for aerobic exercise is cardio, but I don't like that word because it invariably triggers my trendy words that make me vomit filter. It's right up there with Web 2.0. You've probably heard this advice before, but there's a difference between hearing advice and applying it. So go apply it and get thine ass to the gym. At the very least, run around the block for 25 minutes each morning. If you don't do it, you don't know it. When I'm exercising aerobically every day for at least 20 minutes, I can shave a good hour off my sleep each night, which more than compensates for the exercise time. I wake up feeling more alert and energetic too. But the best part is that I enjoy better concentration and alertness all day long. It works way better than caffeine, and without the crash. I've also done weight training for months at a time, both with and without aerobic exercise. Despite the other benefits of weight training, by itself it doesn't seem to benefit my sleep patterns and morning alertness. It doesn't seem to hurt my sleep either though, even when I've trained vigorously with major soreness. Be aware that marketers frequently attempt to manipulate exercise trends to boost product sales. You won't normally see inexpensive exercises like running getting much promotional attention, unless it's to sell you an iPod to listen to while running. Try not to be swayed by the marketing fluff, and go with what works for you, whether it's trendy or not. If you feel compelled to spend money on your health, buy the best organic produce you can find and keep your daily exercise cheap and simple. To be continued. You just listened to part 3 of the post titled, How to Wake Up Feeling Totally Alert by Steve Pavlina of stevepavlina.com. I'll wrap up this post on tomorrow's show, and then on Friday, I'll answer your questions. But first, just a couple of comments from me. I love that Steve mentioned exercising. We know from a lot of well-designed studies that when folks exercise regularly, they not only fall asleep faster, but they get deeper sleep than those that don't exercise. Aerobic activity or cardiovascular activity, or Steve's most hated word cardio, same thing, seems to work the best when it comes to improving sleep. But again, that doesn't mean you need to skip weightlifting. There just hasn't been enough studies examining weightlifting and its effect on sleep, so don't feel like you need to toss that out the window. Earlier in the post, when Steve was mentioning fresh fruit, he mentioned low-sugar fruits like tomatoes, avocados, peppers, and cantaloupe. Now, when we talk to nutritionists or dietitians, tomatoes and peppers are actually considered vegetables, but they have seeds. So depending on who you talk to, a botanist, basically a plant specialist, will call anything with a seed a fruit. But when you talk to dietitians, we look at the nutrient quantity and quality of foods, and we categorize them that way. So basically, tomatoes and peppers are more comparable to other vegetables, which is why we call them vegetables. Avocados, according to dietitians and nutritionists, are actually a fat. They're not a vegetable or a fruit. Cantaloupe, though, that is a fruit. Now, Steve placed a lot of emphasis on consuming less processed foods with your evening meal. I love that idea, but there's one correction. He mentioned the less processed your evening meal, the less energy it will take to digest. Well, that's actually the opposite. The less processed your evening meal, the more energy it actually takes to digest. We actually require less energy when food is highly processed. Think simple sugars, for example, highly processed. Those get absorbed really, really easily and quickly because of all that processing. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the idea of eating a lighter dinner. I like that a lighter dinner would include lots of fruits and vegetables. Nothing wrong with that. But I just wanted to make that quick distinction that actually more processing requires less energy for the body to digest. But like I said, we're going to wrap up this post on tomorrow's show, and you'll get some more commentary from me at that time. Just a reminder, if you like the format of this show, check out Optimal Living Daily to learn more about habit building, minimalism, mindfulness, productivity, and lots more. That's hosted by my brother. Yes, my real brother. Definitely check out Optimal Finance Daily to learn more about personal money management, and Optimal Startup Daily, our brand new 4th podcast, if you have your own business or are interested in starting one. All right, that's it for today's episode. I'll be back tomorrow to finish Steve's post, so I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this show and Optimal Living Daily, the brother podcast of this one. Literally, I'm Dr. Neil's brother. If you like the format of this show, you'll love Optimal Living Daily too, where I also read to you from blogs, but cover other topics like personal development, finance, and minimalism from bloggers like Derek Sivers, The Minimalists, Zen Habits, and many more. So for more amazing content read to you for free, come subscribe to Optimal Living Daily too, and together we'll optimize your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Health Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com for a free gift, as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.